How's it going? I'm Anthony, and these are stories of my life. For those of you just joining us for the first time, these videos are a cognitive therapy tool for me. I've taken some head injuries over the years, and my memory is fading, and the doctors suggested that I make these videos to preserve the memories I still have, as well as inspire some of you all who are involved in these events to provide me with details I may have otherwise lost, or to remind me of events I've completely forgotten, in which case then I can either remake an old video with the new details or make a whole new video for you guys and kind of go from there. So, at any rate, building off of the last video, the events of this one take place in 1990, 1991. I was 12 years old, living with my mom off of Ritchie Canyon Road in Grand Terrace. She was in a double-wide mobile home at a 55-plus mobile home park. The reason why I was 55-plus is my mom was that age because they had adopted me. My parents adopted me when they were in their 40s, and so mid-40s-ish, something like that. So, and it was just her, my dog, my Pekingese named Dexter, and myself. The problem that we had is that my mother was drinking a lot, and she was kind of a very emotionally depressed and angry individual. And to give you some background on her, she had been married once prior to my dad. I don't know the details on why this happened, but she had had 3 daughters, and somewhere in the divorce she lost her kids. I don't know what she did to lose the kids or what happened, but the way she tells it to me was that he was essentially an ass, screwed her over, she lost the kids. I'm sure there's more to the story, but in her mind, this is what happened. So she was real angry about that. And she might have actually been angry with herself about whatever it was she might have done that caused this to happen, which is a common thread, but I don't know what that was. But either way, this is something that was in her head and heart, and it caused her to drink a lot. I believe that's the biggest thing about her alcoholism, is it stemmed from a lot of those issues. Well, so she was drinking while she was married with my dad, and now she's gotten divorced from my dad and lost the lifestyle that he had provided her. And my dad had done well. You know, he had had a lot of, for lack of a better term, prestigious positions in the world of horticulture. You know, he had been one of the head gurus at the Denver Botanical Gardens, as well as a few other different botanical gardens, and you know, had done, actually, funny as it sounds, a lot of things for the government-wise regarding horticulture and all that, and to a point where at one time some Russian diplomats had come into the country for a visit for whatever reason, and someone from the government actually asked my parents to take them in and let them, you know, stay with them for a bit and show them around at whatever my dad did. And it worked out well for both parties involved. You know, so there's a lot of things like that, a lot of big things, but now it's gone. And so my mom's upset about that. They lost the house, they lost the business, they lost everything. So my mom was just angry. More than that, she can't work anymore. She was a cosmetology teacher at Riverside Community College's School of Beauty, as well as at Marinello's School of Beauty in San Bernardino. Big fight breaks out between these 2 large women, and my mom's this dinky little thing, if you knew her, and she got in the middle of it. Dinky as hell, but brave, very brave woman. Jumped in the middle of this thing, got hucked across the room, and ended up with a pretty bad neck, upper back injury that caused her some neurological issues. Her hands were kind of starting to try to curl up, and she couldn't do cosmetology anymore, you know, because she doesn't have the dexterity to do haircutting or anything like that. So, boom, she's no longer working. She's now collecting disability and can't work anymore. So in my mom's head, she has literally no value. She had no desire to retire, but she's got no value. And So it more fuel to the fire on her alcoholism. So now it's her, myself, my dog, and she's drinking all the time. And so the summer before school started, I was with her all the time. I didn't have any friends, a whole new town, so I'm home a lot. And all my mom would do is just sit and drink. And she would only ever have one glass. Fill the glass, drink it halfway, fill it back up, drink it halfway, fill it back up. And if you called her out on it, she would say, I've only had one glass. Yeah, okay, Mom. The part that was hard was that my mom, being so angry, wanted to lash out at somebody. And all she had was me and my dog. Now, granted, she yelled at my dog a couple times, but she can't make my dog sad, so it was me. I guess it made her feel better to put me down, and that's what she did. And I can still hear her voice. I can still hear it. And she would say things like, it's all your fault. You ruined everything. It's because of you we lost everything. We never should have adopted you. You're the reason we lost our house. You're the reason we lost our business. You're the reason that your dad and I got divorced. You ruined our lives. You ruined your life. I understand why your real mother put you up for adoption. She didn't want you. You were worthless. You would have ruined her life too. She's better off without you. We would have been better off without you. We never should have adopted you. You never should have been born. I wish you were dead. I can still hear it. I can still hear it. I go to bed crying every day. Every day. And when you hear something enough, you eventually start to believe it. Doesn't matter how old you are. But at 12 years old, I was not mentally and emotionally equipped to deal with these kind of verbal attacks from my mom. And, I'd been kind of a spoiled brat my whole life. And my parents always tried to do everything they could to give me that cush lifestyle, but so I didn't have that tough side of me yet. But now I had to learn it, so I was dealing with all of this, and it was hard. And eventually there came a point where I got the intestinal fortitude to lash back at her. And I tell her, no, it's you, it's your drinking, and blah blah blah, your attitude. And she turned it right back around on me and started crying. She'd cry her eyes out and say, why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to us? All we ever wanted to do was love you. And tears just pouring down her face. All we ever wanted to do was love you. All we ever wanted to do was give you a wonderful home and a great life and a happy life. Why did you ruin it? Why did you treat us this way? And why did you have to make all this happen and ruin our lives? And why did you? And it would keep going and come back around to right back to what she had said in the first place. So why did you have to do all that? We never should have adopted you. We never should have done this. We never should have done that. You were worthless, and you were horrible and human being. You're all this and that, and blah blah blah. Every day. I wish you were dead. And like I said, you hear it enough, eventually you believe it. So I wanted to be dead. I wanted to die. eventually school started, and I was riding the bus. And the bus wasn't too bad. It gave me time to sit and just be with my own thoughts. The problem was, even though I was looking forward to making friends, I was still that awkward kid. And I didn't make friends very well. And many times the bus would come pick me up, and I'd already be crying my eyes out because my mom would have had it out that morning. My mom would start drinking as soon as she woke up. I'd get on the bus, still crying, sad, trying to hide the tears, not want to talk to anybody. So I got that stigma as the awkward kid. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I got treated accordingly. And there was a couple girls that were on the bus that were real nice, and I can actually still remember them. One of them, her name was Estella Magana. She was really pretty, really, really pretty, and really nice too. You know, she was a couple stops down from me, and so because she was so close, she would sometimes come up, get on the bus, and sit right next to me, and which was cool because she was a nice girl. You know, another girl by the name of Keely Bennett, really pretty girl, farther down the canyon. Didn't get to sit next to her a lot, but when I did, it was always nice because she was bubbly, tons of fun, and also really nice. Most of the rest of the kids on the bus were crap. As far as friends I made a friend by the name of Warren Chambers. He goes by Andy Chambers now. I think that's his middle name. I'm not sure. Warren, you can correct me if you're watching. I remember hanging out with him a lot, but I don't remember anything that we ever did. I don't remember anything specific. I remember his mom. I remember going to his house. I think he was in martial arts. Other than that, I got nothing. But I know he hung out a lot. You know, he was cool. We stayed friends through high school. He ended up joining the Air Force, and then we kind of lost contact. He found me again a couple years back, but a bad friend that I am, you know, I haven't stayed in touch. Another friend I made, a guy by the name of Tim Richard. Tim, another really cool dude. Spent a lot of time with him. Got real close, but I don't remember anything specific. He had a brother named Jim. I can remember his mom and dad. They were really cool. Loved them to death. Tim ended up joining the Marines. Left a week before I did. And Jim ended up joining the Army. Him and I were never really close, but he ended up joining the Army. Up the road from him was another guy by the name of Robert Fitch. Robert I probably spent the most time with. I think he and I kind of clicked well. He was kind of an awkward kid too. Not as bad as I was, but him and I were able to connect, I think, in that regard. He had the party house, though. His parents were pretty well off, so we had this awesome party house. Pool tables, you name it, just the way he set it was awesome. So I was there a lot. Hanging out with him. But I don't remember any fun, specific events. I know we did a lot of stupid crap, but I don't remember anything else. His parents were really cool, too. We had a cousin named David. And I was friends with both of them up through high school as well. But I don't remember much in 8th grade. Yeah, I don't remember much in 8th grade. The school itself, Terrace Hills Junior High School, wasn't a bad school. It was clean, well kept. I was the awkward kid again. Nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. Just the people that I had mentioned. And that was it, really. You know, there was one girl, though, that I'll never forget. And her name is Jody Nietzsche. Now, she goes by Jody Kodesh now. She is married. She lives in San Diego. She's a weather girl for a news station, I believe. You can find her pretty easy if you wanted to. And she just was unbelievable. Awesome girl. And the thing that was special about her is I think she was able to identify that I had underlying issues. And so she made an extra conscious effort to be kind to me. We had classes that were near each other, and she would meet me outside of my classes and walk with me to hers. There were some times where she'd actually hold my hand and walk with me to class. I think back now, and I visualize like a special ed kid holding someone's hand walking to class. So I guess I was a special ed kid. But, I felt good about that. Like I felt like I had a genuine friend who cared about me. And that meant the absolute world to me. I was friends with Robert and Tim and Warren, but that was different. With Jody, there was just something more. And it wasn't like her and I were trying to hook up or like each other in that regard. That wasn't the case at all. But it was like I had somebody I could be close to, that I could open up to. And I would share with her a lot of what was going on. And she was always there for me. She would talk to me. She would see me sad. She would try to cheer me up. And she was goofy like that. She was fun. And when I wanted to talk to her and she was hanging out with her popular friends, you know what I'm talking about, she never shunned me, because some people are different when they're with their friends or than they are with her alone. Not her. She was amazing. She would walk away from her friends and talk to me, spend time with me, just totally bypass them to spend time with me. And maybe they understood. Maybe she'd explain everything that was going on. But she made me feel like I was worth $1 million. And I think I'd even told her one time that I wanted to die. And I don't know if I ever told her I was considering killing myself or anything like that. But I think I did tell her I wanted to die. And she had asked me not to. She asked me not to. I remember that. And she saved my life because of that. And I can remember a kid by the name of Michael Felix at 8th grade was killed in a drive-by shooting. Took a couple rounds in the chest and one below the eye, and he died. And I remember being sad that he died, but not just because he died, but because it was him and not me. And that was my mentality at the time, because of what was going on with my mom. But Jody came in, and the time with her made me feel like, okay, I gotta keep going. I gotta keep going. She asked me not to. I gotta keep going. This is my friend. My friend. She was my angel. She wasn't just my friend. She was my angel. And she kept me alive. So I can remember 8th grade dance. I asked her to dance, and took everything I had to ask her to dance. And we danced, and of course we were like arm's length apart, because 8th grade, chaperones everywhere, blah, blah, blah. But I can still remember her in her black dress, a little purple skirt, purple foofies on her shoulders, and the 80s hair and all that. And she's beautiful. I think I still got a picture of it somewhere. I'll have to find it. But, yeah, that was cool. Yeah, thank you, Jody, for being you. We're still friends to this day, which is nice. So, but yeah, that really was that was 8th grade. It was tough. I had perfect attendance because I never wanted to be home. Those of you that knew me in high school will know that I ditched every chance I got. 7th grade, it was no different. 8th grade, I had perfect attendance. I didn't want to be home. And then, yeah. Like I said, You hear something enough, eventually you start to believe it. Be careful what you say to people. Even if you're joking, be careful what you say to people. You can play around and call someone a loser. Don't. Especially children. Don't say that. Maybe a joke. Kids don't understand sarcasm. Eventually they'll believe what you say. So speak positive to people. Especially yourself. Self-deprecating humor might be funny. But if you say it to yourself, eventually you start to believe it also. Be careful what you say to people, including yourself. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can ruin your life. It's true. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good one.